Negative body language can indicate defensive feelings, maybe perhaps lack of interest in the other person, or even dishonesty when we are not conscious of it. And again, negative or closed body language is a non-verbal cue that a person is feeling defensive or unwilling to engage. And we do this without even thinking. We might close our arms sometimes when we're cold, but often if it's closed, we're doing it, or we're doing it for a reason. So closing our eyes, for instance, even when we're cold, could portray that we want to protect ourselves or close ourselves down to conversation with another person. Likewise, poor posture can make it seem like you're disinterested in what the person is saying. For instance, when you slouch, cross your arms, or turn away from people when they're talking to you, you're looking disinterested, defensive, or even borderline bored. Facial expressions can also show people how you're feeling, such as when people frown without even realizing it. Yet when you stand up or sit straight, look at people with a smile on your face, or keep your arms slightly open, you're telling them that you're approachable and open to conversation and happy to talk to them. If people do not feel like they want to talk, or they might be depressed or down, they might hunch themselves into themselves when they walk with their heads down or arms closed, and may well already be avoiding your eye contact. Respect that and respect their boundaries, and only engage with them if they appear to respond to your, let's say, your highs or how you're doing today, your conversation. But don't otherwise, because that is a statement they're making. Signs we need to be aware of, though, which could indicate somebody is feeling hostile or could be risky towards us, is pacing. So if you see a person pacing up and down the floor as they're talking, they're angry or anxious, and they're not in a place for a decent, reasonable conversation. Clenching fists or standing on side on also indicates that they're considering attacking or attacking us. So again, if somebody's standing side on for you, you need to back out and get out of the room. Bring the team too with you. Fixed eye contact, as we said before, to the point where you feel as if somebody's staring through you, may indicate somebody's angry with you. Similarly, never say that word, darting eye contact. For instance, from you to the door or to an object might indicate a person's intentions. Now, if it's just to the door, that indicates they need to get out because you're talking too much to them. But if you see them looking at a door and then an object, that means you need to get out the door because they're considering using it and then getting out of the door. Always be attentive to the tone and volume of voices rising to shouting. And again, always have your volunteer, your teammates beside you, always know where they are and always be ready to jump in if you feel a conversation is escalating. People perhaps shaking or appearing on edge as well, even if that's anxiety. Be on your guard, because when somebody's anxious, they're also scared. And when people are scared or anxious, they're not always thinking straight. So what you need to do at that point is either give people space, enable them to get in and out quickly. Don't converse with them unless they want you to do. Let them have what they need to do and let them go. If anybody's venting anger towards us, we definitely need to be on guard at this point. The best, and I say, in any time like that, obviously if you feel comfortable to do so, you might say to them, I prefer you not speaking to me like that, but actually we're in a small space. I'd rather you say, okay, what can I get you now? I'm just going to step out for a moment now. And just get yourself out of the situation. Please be also vigilant to people expressing extremist and discriminatory viewpoints. Unfortunately, we might get them because we are working with a lot of older people who may have prejudices to other groups of people. You're very much as well to say, I'm going to step away from this conversation now to change the subject, and then tell us about it and we will talk to them about that. Space invaders, again, be aware of those as well. People who don't respect your personal space boundary. As I say, if they're in an arm's length, keep moving away from them. Anybody who makes us rush or makes us feel compromised in any manner, why they're making you rush, they're stressed, but what's their intention? Again, just be very mindful of that and watch what's happening with your teammates. If that's happening, step in to diffuse. Anybody who asks us for things or makes demands on us in the same way is somebody to be careful around. I would say the bog standard thing is always step aside or outside to give people more space to make the selection if they're being like that with us. And even just walk out mid-conversation because you're more important than that. I'll be back in a minute is what you say. And then make sure you're in the room, pick up from where your team members left off. Okay, what can we get you then, sir, or whatever? We need that person out, yeah? Trust your gut if something doesn't feel right, and if you get the vibe about somebody, protect yourself and protect the team. Get out of the room and alert for emergency help. And we'll come back to emergency help later on this training.